Myself, K. Nagaraju, Assistant Professor, Computer Technology Department, Kids Engineering College, Ramtech, Nagpur. Today course is BTech 6th semester Computer Technology. Subject name is Software Testing and Quality Assurance. So now today topic we are going to be discuss about white box testing. Before go into deep white box testing, first we'll see what do you mean by software testing. Why should we do testing? Suppose if you don't do the testing of your program code, what happens? So we'll see the first definition of software testing. So software testing is the process of analyzing a software item to detect the difference between existing and required conditions, that is bugs, and to evaluate the features of the software item. If you see one more definition about software testing, testing is a software means assessing or measuring the software to determining its quality. The major thing of software testing is we have to test the programming code whether the written program is it according to the structure, according to the syntax, according to the format. We have to be first, we have to test. As a programmer, I have to test the code. So for example, we think about white box testing. So if you think about white box testing, in this white box testing, it has a two classifications. One is static testing, another is dynamic testing. When when we go for static testing, so in the static testing, there are, again it is subdivided into three categories. First one, desk checking. Second one, code walkthroughs. Third one, code inspection. So what do you mean by desk checking? What do you mean by desk checking? So there are a group of programmers sit together at a formal meeting, and the written programming code for a particular product, they will first verifies whether the written program code is according to the structure, according to the specification, according to the requirements. So they will identify line by line. When you go for the second one, code walkthrough. So walkthrough means generally what happens, you have to move on. So similarly, a software engineers, they will, a group of software engineers, we call it as a programmers. These programmers sit around the table and they will identify the program code particular product. Suppose you think about mobile. So a mobile, there is a one specific functionality that is called camera. When you take input as an image, when you capture the image and you have to show the image quality as an output in a proper picture as usual in the real picture. So when how it is a processing, you are giving a picture as an input and you are processing, later you are delivering output as a picture. But while doing processing, the input clarity as it is, you have to check at the time of delivering the output. So before delivering the output, the programmer has to check the functional functionality specification of a particular product in a programming code. If the each input size, length, width, height, and pixel size, for everything the programmer has to verify. If it is correct, then the program code will be executed and it gives the output. So this is a simple example for a mobile, one feature about camera. Next feature is there in this, if you think that formal inspection. So in this formal inspection, it's a group of programmers and the one author. So all together they will sit and identify per for a particular product the specific features, each feature having its own objectives. So based on the objective, that features will be delivered. So these are the group of software engineers along with the author. That means the main person who has written the code. So they will sit together and each other discuss the written code is correct or not, or any specific objectives missed. If it is missed, they will identify and rectify and deliver the program code, and they will test it, and finally they will fix into the product and they will test it. Once it is tested, if they get correct output, they will put it. Okay, if the output is not correct, again they will come back and they will check it, and they will deliver until unless it gets correct. If it is correct, then they will deliver the application to the client. So this is the one way of software testing under white box testing techniques. And if you think about second testing technique, that is called dynamic testing. Why we call it as a dynamic testing under white box testing? Dynamic testing in the means at any time you can change the code. At any time you can identify the error and use the solution for that particular problem. If the problem is identified, meanwhile, you can stop it and you will correct it and deliver it. So that is happening in the dynamic testing. So in the dynamic testing technique, the first and foremost thing is code coverage. So in the code coverage, what happens? In this code coverage, there are four specifications are there. First one, statement coverage. Second thing, branch coverage. Third thing, path coverage. Fourth thing, condition coverage. What do you mean by statement coverage? Statement coverage, simply we can say it is a line of statement. For example, the variable declaration is there in the programming. Data types, what type of data types you are using? Integer data types, float data types, double data types, or any other data types. So whether that data types declaration, that syntax is correct or not, we have to be identified. For example, int a is equal to 5 and int b is equal to 10 and int c is equal to a plus b. When you do this addition a plus b, so a is equal to 5, b is equal to 10, then into c is equal to a plus b, whether you are getting correct output or not. C is equal to 15. So this whether is 15 or 15 is correct or not. So you have given input to two variables a and b. A is equal to 5, b is equal to 15, b is equal to 10. Then you are getting final output c is equal to a plus b is 15. You have to get output. So this output is correct or not. Each line is syntax, a format, specification you have to check. So suppose for example you have written this program in C language. So C language, every program statement ends with semicolon. So you have whether it is semicolon is there or not, you have to check it. If semicolon is not kept properly, not written, so you will get error. When you get error, again you go back it and check it. You remove that error and make it statement correct. So this is the way is happening at the dynamic testing. So that is called a statement coverage. So in the statement coverage, line by line, we have to be verify and validate. At the time of validation, you have to fix the bug and you have to correct it. Next, second thing is there branch coverage. Branch. If you think a branch means there are 3 to 4 statements are there. In this 3 to 4 statement, starting to ending. So what is the input? What is the output? You have to analyze carefully line by line. If you get any errors, you have to detect it and you have to be correct it and fix the problem and move to the next level. If you go for next level, path coverage. When you go for path coverage, any diagram, so source to the destination. For example, route to leaves in a for a any program we can write a diagrammatically also, like a statements, loops and conditions, multiple conditions, and one program to another program link up. For all these things we have to write in the form of a diagram. In that diagram, path line by line, so source to destination, that means the road to leaves, we have to verify in the written program where is having mistake. If mistake is found, you have to fix it. If there is no mistake, you have to make it correct and you have to execute it. Next level of this is condition coverage. So in a programming language, many more conditions are there. Like a if else conditions are there, while loop conditions are there, like a for loop conditions are there, or else. So many more types of condition statements are there, like a switch case statements are there. So all these types of statements we have to be verified at the before execution of your program. And one more thing, before delivering your product to the customer, we have to be identify. So once you have to be check all conditions. If all conditions are correct, then you have to be hand over that. You have to hand over the product to the customer. If all conditions are not correct, you have to rectify. You have to check it. You have to verify it. You have to fix the bug, and you have to execute it. You have to get the correct output. Then only you have to hand over the product. So before handovering this product to the customer, so in a software testing and quality assurance, there are two. One major thing is there, that is called acceptance testing. Before delivering your product to the customer, so you have to check at organization level. So that is called acceptance testing. Under there are two types of testing: alpha testing and beta testing. What do you mean by alpha testing? So alpha testing in the sense, organization, the product who has developed all together, they will sit together all together, they will sit it like a, including with project manager or software developers and software testers. All these people sit together and they will check each and every specification or features of a particular product. The product name is, for example, we take it a mobile. So for this mobile, nowadays n number of applications are there, n number of options are there. So each and every option, they have to be exercised one by one, one by one. They will exercise each option. If the each every option is working well and good, then they will comes to the final decision. Okay, now product is correct, now we can able to deliver this product to the customer. So before releasing that customer to deliver product to the market, once again all these team members, they will call the customer. One side is a software developer, another side is a customer. So under beta testing, all these two people together and test once again the product in front of the customer. So customer asks some functionality, show it to me. If the software engineers, they will show that application working process, everything. If it works well, then the customer is satisfied, then that product will be delivered. Otherwise, until unless the customer satisfies, we keep on make changes. Once customer satisfy, then we can stop it, that testing, and we can able to deliver the product to the customers. So this is happening in the white box testing. And under the white box testing, the software engineer or programmer must have the internal coding knowledge. Once internal coding knowledge is know thoroughly, he can able to detect errors and correct it and make the product a successful way. So this is about simple brief overview about white box testing. Thank you for listening.